What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? It's your boy Kevin Stewart, and welcome back to another amazing episode of the Where's Kevin vlog. And I'm gonna tell you now, go get you some wine, go get you a cocktail, and let's sip it up together, baby. Because my granny died. Baby, we're gonna get into it this episode, but first, I need you to like, comment, share, tag, let somebody know that episode 2 of the Where's Kevin vlog is up and we need to tune in because your boy about to talk. I'm not gonna be on here long. I'm already setting a strong foundation with y'all that I only want 10 to 15 minutes of your time. So let's jump straight into it, y'all. My grandmother passed away last week, and y'all, it has been a very it's been a thing, I'll say, to process. It's been a very different type of thing to process. My grandmother has been present and in my life all of my life. I've lost pretty much all of my grandmothers. My grandmother, Rosa Gresham, passed when I was about 10, 9, 10. Then my grandma Stewart passed away, I think, when I was either 10, 11. I lost my grandma Riley. Then I lost my Papa Lee. I mean, my grandparents have just only living grandfather that I still have left is my grandpa, Papa Stewart. So losing my grandmother has been one of those things where I'm just still like in this thing like, did she really just leave us? Um, so yeah, let me tell you the story. Hold on. Let me take a sip. By the way, this is a nice pink Moscato from Audi. That was about $3 and some change, but it's good. So, um, maybe a Thursday, 2 Thursdays ago, my family gave us a call, let us know that my grandmother's blood pressure had dropped tremendously. She had some other health things that went on, and it was looking very scary that she was getting ready to transition on that day. And I just remember having this eerie feeling and packing up my things at work, y'all, and just trying to calmly drive to the hospital versus overreacting and trying to get there fast and putting myself in harm and in danger. So I remember packing up the office. I got down there. I was crying on the way to the hospital because I'm like, Lord, is this it? I get there. It took me a minute to get it going to the hospital room because I was just so like distraught and outdone that my grandmother, um, I knew that my grandmother was getting ready to transition, even though she did not transition right away. It was practically about a good 9 days after. Was it seven, eight, nine? Yeah, 9 days after. I knew in my heart and in my mind that my grandmother was getting ready to transition. So from that Thursday all week long, we had been going back and forth to the hospital. My mom, my aunt Kim, and my aunt Debbie, my dad, my uncle Frank, they really stayed at the hospital day and night with them. And specifically one day, y'all, I went up to the hospital and my grandmother was a little more coherent. She was talking. Y'all, she just kept asking for Pepsi. She kept saying, more Pepsi, more Pepsi. And my daddy gave her some Pepsi through the straw. And he took the cup away and she said, is that enough? Is that it? And my whole family just bursted out laughing. And they gave her more Pepsi. And I remember sitting in the hospital, y'all, and my grandmother said to everybody, she looked at me, she said, why Pookie so quiet? And I said, I'm okay, Grandma. But I was really in a state where I was really just watching the room, like watching my family, watching how everybody was moving, paying attention to body language, making sure that my mother was okay, making sure that my auntie Kim was okay, looking at like just watching everybody. And before I left the hospital that day, I got up, I kissed her on her forehead, I said, Grandma, I love you. And she said slow, I love you and I'm proud of you. And those words resonated so deep with me when she said that. And it was truly what I needed to hear in knowing that my grandmother was getting ready to transition. I knew in my heart of hearts that this was practically the week that my grandmother would transition, really based off of the information that my mother was giving to me that, what the doctors were saying, like, hey, this is shutting down, this is shutting down. It's not looking too good. It's not a lot of medication we can give her. And when my mother was giving me that information, there was just always this peace and calmness over me that let me know, like, okay, it's getting ready to happen this go round. So you need to prepare yourself. So, of course, if you've been watching the Dream Lab podcast, and I pray that you all have, I have been talking about how meditation and those things have really helped me in this season of just being calm and centering myself, being in tune with myself, and just really understanding that I have the power and authority to stay calm. So, with me tapping into that, with dealing with this, I was okay with just settling myself and doing what it is that I needed to do to be at peace. So again, like I said, with having the information and knowing that soon that she would be transitioning, I was able to brace myself and prepare for what was to come. Of course, on the day that she passed, the emotions still hit very hard, but I did have the opportunity to start processing that this was getting ready to take place so that it would not be a shocker. One of the biggest things that I kind of struggle with, if I can be 100% transparent with y'all, hold on, let me take a sip before I say this. Hold on. One of the things that I struggled with a little bit was I seen my mom and my Aunt Kim and the rest of my grandmother's siblings kept saying, I believe God, like God's gonna do it. My uncle kept saying the spirit of Job and all of these different things. They hear like she's gonna get up, she's gonna get up. But what resonated in my spirit and what I basically knew was she's getting ready to transition from being on this earth to her resting place. And I kind of felt bad because I'm like, Lord, am I wrong for not sitting here, saying, I believe God is going to do it. I believe God is going to bring her out. Was I wrong for it? No, I solely 100% believe in God through the floor. But in that moment, it was almost like I knew his will was for my grandmother not to suffer. The hardest part of it all was I did know that my grandmother was not ready to transition. She wasn't. She kept telling my mom, I'm not ready. I got more things to do. I think my mom told me specifically, my grandmother was like, can we cancel this? Like, I want my coin back. Like, I'm not ready to go. And, hearing my mom say these things, I was like, wow, like, I know in my heart of hearts that she's in her transitioning phase, but to know that she's not ready to go was very heartbreaking. It was very heartbreaking. But it was also eye-opening for me to make sure that at this age of 33, that I am making sure that I am enjoying life 1,000% and doing and accomplishing any and everything that I want to do. I'm not saying that my grandmother didn't. I'm not saying that my grandmother did not live and enjoy life. But there was obviously something that she felt that she did not get to accomplish before she left the earth, or maybe possibly she was just scared to make the transition because she may have felt like her work was undone. And that was a really hard pill to swallow, and to know that those are the thoughts that she had and that's how she felt. But yeah, it's been a very strange process. I am doing okay. I'm taking it day by day. I do have my moments where, I'm overwhelmed with emotion, but what I have been trying my best to do with my grandmother transitioning, I'm doing my best not to project my emotions and feelings onto somebody else. I am so glad that I am learning how to control my temper, control my tongue, and just sit in knowing that one, all is well, and that we all process grief differently. We all process grief differently. And the way that my mom may process grief is different from me, different from my dad, different from my brother, different from her sister, and vice versa for all of us. But in this season and this time of experiencing loss, I am working on making sure that I give everyone grace to process how they have to process. Now, I'm not saying you project all of your feelings and what you're going through on everybody else. Let me take a sip. Hold on. But even in you grieving, I believe you have to take the time to process how you feel, but also watch how you handle and treat people in your time of grief and in other people's time of grief. Putting an S on everything today. um, One of the questions that I wanted to answer today was, why am I at peace? And I want to say the reason that I am definitely at peace with what everything is going on is because when it's all said and done, I truly know who's in control. And I'm just glad that my grandmother is no longer suffering and bedridden to a bed and not able to enjoy life. And now she's resting. She is resting. She's not suffering. I'm just at peace knowing that my grandma is okay. I'm at peace knowing that my mother and my Aunt Kim, they loved, cared, and tended to my grandmother until the end. At that hospital, they did exactly what they needed to do. They asked as many questions as they wanted. They made sure that they were attentive, that they understood what was going on, what these ports were, what these IVs were, what were in the IVs, believing for total healing, being there for her, encouraging her to eat, encouraging her to do different things. Like, they were there until the end, and I am at peace knowing that her girls did what they were supposed to do all the way until her last breath. And last but not least, like I said, the way that I prepared for this was just simply, I don't even know if there's a real way for me to say how I prepared for it. I'll just say that the transitional period that I've been in my life was definitely for this season of my life. And I am so glad that I got a really good grip on me before all of this happened. I'm so glad that I got centered. I'm so glad that I focused on meditation, that I've been focusing on me, taking care of my mental health, doing things that are best for me, so that when this moment got here, Kevin Stewart Jr. would be able to center himself, be calm, and process grief the right way. So, all I'm asking is that you guys would keep me and my family in prayer. I'm getting ready to do some traveling. I'll be in Atlanta this upcoming weekend, and my grandmother's funeral would be the following weekend. So I'm going to do a special vlog for y'all while traveling, because I have not done that in a while. But I'm going to give y'all some exclusive content of me traveling and exploring Atlanta and doing some fun things. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it. And in closing, I just want to encourage anybody to prepare for what's next. If it wasn't for me taking serious the signs that I needed to take care of myself, stop doing certain things, get self-control, and get centered, if I did not pay attention to the signs, knowing that I needed to get me together, I would not have been prepared for this season of grief that I'm now in. So if you feel an inkling that there's something that you need to try, something that you need to do, I'm begging you and I'm imploring you to do what it is that you have to do, because there are some signals and things going off in your body that's telling you to prepare for what's next. I don't care if it's another business venture, you moving out of state, you preparing for a relationship. Take the proper steps to be the best version of you for whatever may come. And because I did that, I am able to process and handle grief at a different level. All right? Whereas Kevin Vlog, I love y'all. It's so good to be back. I wanted to come in and give y'all a life update so that y'all can hear it from me. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to the Where's Kevin channel. Share this with somebody. Let them know that Kev was on with episode 2 of the Where's Kevin Vlog, exclusively from my bedroom. I don't know how many times I'm going to let y'all in here because I don't want y'all dogging my room out, but I love y'all so much. I pray that y'all have an amazing day, evening, week, month, and year. And I'll see y'all on episode 3, all right? Peace.